Now, the last orientation to cultivate is your orientation towards the future. And the watchword there is optimism. Some people say, I love this meme that goes around on the internet. People who say, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty, miss the point. The glass is refillable. I love that. That's like the ultimate optimism. And that's important to distinguish because it is really important to not get caught in the trap of unrealistic optimism. So I am not a Pollyanna. I am still paranoid like the rest of you, or I wouldn't be standing before you. I have a good element of paranoia, but I also temper it with hope and with vision for the future. There's a book called The Perils of Accentuating the Positive, and what they point out is if you register emotions in a person or in a group, and you find there's a very high ratio of positive emotions and no negative ones, it's a big red flag that you've got some unrealistic optimism operating, and you may have that situation that's described as groupthink, where people just go along with it just because everyone else did. So with that in mind, I'm not talking about unrealistic optimism. I'm talking about being able to keep upbeat, keep positive, and sometimes in our profession that can be hard to do. So here's some ideas. First of all, think of it as breaking the cycle. If you find yourself maybe in more negativity, think about how you can break the cycle. What happens is when you are doing the same old thinking, it's reinforcing and building a rut in your brain, and you're going to get the same old results. I loved what Chris said. If you're getting the same results over and over, basically it's time to try something new. And so that's what I'll suggest here. One of the best ways that you can do that is by proposing alternative explanations to yourself. So instead of just taking the first thing that comes up, which is what your brain does in a threat state, it says, if you're an officer and you're confronted with a deadly force situation, your brain is just going to make a decision, shoot or don't shoot. Just like those are your only options. That's what comes up in your brain. In alternative explanations, you're asking yourself questions. Go deeper underneath that and see what else could be there. There's a great technique used in improv theater where it's rapid fire alternatives. So someone's asked, what would you do if, and then you have to answer the question fast, and then they say, and, what else could you do? And you answer that, and what else could you do? Answer that. By offering yourself alternative explanations, you break yourself out of that trap that fixed mindset can have you in, and you can generate more options for yourself. You can also generate more positivity because there's something else that happens in the brain that's kind of cool. It's like natural drug high. Dopamine is generated in your brain by novelty. So when you propose alternative explanations for yourself, you actually increase your joy. Dopamine is like the pleasure center. It makes you happy. And novelty is one of the things that does that. So you can actually make yourself happier just by proposing alternative explanations.